Hi guys, this is Wendy at Boop Baby, and we're just going to go over some common reasons for leaking in cloth diapers, give you some solutions. If any of these don't work, of course, you're always welcome to contact us at hello@boopbaby.com or message us on Facebook or give us a call in store and we would be happy to help you out. So probably the most common reason for leaking is not enough absorbency. And that just means that whatever is inside your diaper isn't absorbent enough for whatever your baby is peeing into the diaper. This is really easy to tell because when you pull the insert out or when you go to change the diaper, you will notice that the inside is totally saturated. Like it's completely wet, it's soaking, it's dripping. That means the leaking was caused because it was completely soaked and there's nowhere else for the urine to go except out. So that's number one. It's tricky to say why this happens. There are a couple main causes. Microfiber is awesome. It holds a lot. It works really well. It's highly absorbent material, but it's prone to compression leaks. A microfiber insert is one that looks like this. It's got that kind of fuzzy stuff that's not really that fun to touch. This is microfiber. Now, most of the microfiber that we carry here in store at Boop Baby is pretty decent. If you have a baby who just outputs a normal amount, you probably won't get leaking with it. None of my kids leaked through the microfiber of any of the brands that we carry here. Grovia has a great microfiber insert. I like Rumperoos. Thirsties, Stay Dry All-in-One is microfiber, and it worked really well for my kids. So generally you won't have leaking with microfiber. The microfiber I did have leaking with is this. This is actually from an Alva, which is a gray market diaper. We've done some YouTube videos about gray market diapers before. These are really bulky for the amount of absorbency that they have. So most Alvas have like 3 layers of inserts, but Lois tells me they have really long 3 layers in their inserts, but the microfiber itself has really long fibers, which makes so it has quite a bit of space in the insert and causes kind of a lot of bulk once this insert is stuffed and placed on the baby. But because it's only 3 layers, you can see on mine, I cut open 1, 2, 3 layers. It's not very absorbent, even though it looks like a big, thick insert. So because it has long fibers, that causes that space, which adds to the bulk, and then also it's more susceptible to compression leaks. Compression leaks are one of the drawbacks of any microfiber, and not just this microfiber, but any of the other ones. Once microfiber is totally saturated, like it's soaking wet, if you squeeze it, it's going to release liquid like a sponge. Whereas cotton or hemp or some of the other natural materials, if it's totally soaked, you can squeeze it and it might release a little bit, but it's not going to totally drop it all out. So that's the drawback of microfiber. The pluses of microfiber are that it is very absorbent, it's inexpensive, and it absorbs fast. So you're not going to be waiting an hour for your microfiber to absorb that pee. It's going to go right in and soak it up. But then if you have a baby wearing a onesie that is pressing on the microfiber, it can cause the microfiber to release some of the liquid that's being held in it. And that's a bigger problem with these gray market diaper brands because they have those long fibers. So 2 ways that you can fix that. If you have a reputable diaper brand without this big, bulky air insert problem, like Rumperoos, Thirsties, any of those, then you can just add something to it. One thing that I really like, these are the Thirsties hemp inserts, and these can be added to anything. So you can add these to a pocket, if you have a pocket that you're stuffing things in. You can add these to an all-in-one by just lifting it up and then sticking the extra insert underneath the absorbency in the all-in-one. So that's a really good way to add absorbency to all-in-one. You could add it to a pocket, you can stack it, inside of an all-in-2 or on top of the insert. These are hemp and organic cotton, so they absorb pretty well, and they also are safe to put against the skin, unlike microfiber, which you should never put against the skin. Always stuff it in a pocket or put it under a fleece liner. Other options are, besides Thirsties, we have this awesome Little Weeds. This is a Hemp Babies insert, and hemp absorbs so much. It's the most absorbent of all the fabrics, but it can absorb slower, so I don't necessarily recommend doing hemp all by itself. These are great because they're hemp and cotton. Actually, the Hemp Babies is hemp and cotton too. Sorry, they both are. So as long as you have some kind of cotton in there, it's going to absorb faster. The ones that are a much higher percentage of hemp and less cotton aren't going to absorb as fast. Then Smart Bottoms has some boosters that are great. So you have lots of options as far as adding additional inserts. Now, if you are using one of these gray market diapers with the bulky microfiber insert, oops, here's one. I really recommend you just pitch the insert or donate it, or use it as a Swiffer pad or something, repurpose it somehow, because if you add an insert to it, just because of the way that they compress, you're still going to have a really bulky diaper because the insert itself is bulky, but then it's not going to absorb as much as it could otherwise. So I would just get rid of those inserts completely, and I know a lot of people who have successfully diapered with gray market diapers using simple pre-folds. So all you do is you fold it into thirds, and you can just stuff it into your diaper, and you'll have a much, much more absorbent diaper, and you can still have the cute prints. You don't have to invest in a completely new diaper, and it will work so much better for you. So I would recommend the infant regular fit pre-folds or the better fit size 2 if you need more absorbency. They will be a little bit bulkier, but if you feel like you have a really heavy bladder, you could get the larger ones for more absorbency. So that's what I would do if you have one of those gray market diapers with the extra compressy microfiber inserts. If you are using a natural fiber, then your baby's just outpeeing the natural fiber, whatever it is you use. It happens. My kids never managed to do that, but some people are just lucky. So go ahead and just add another natural insert to it, and that will work well for you. Or you can replace the whole insert if it's a pocket with a pre-fold like we would do with the gray market diapers. If it's an all-in-one, I would definitely just add another insert underneath. Flats are really nice because they are less bulky than pre-folds, and they can add some absorbency. And if you're only wanting it as a booster, you can cut them in half and sew down the side if you're really crafty and get a really inexpensive extra insert that way. Now, if you're using natural fibers from the gray market collection, I want to bring those up because sometimes we have people call and say, oh, I have bamboo inserts and they're leaking. And then we have to ask where you bought them. Because this is a bamboo, 100% advertised on Amazon bamboo insert that if you cut it open, it's microfiber. So if you're using something like this, it's even less absorbent than the Alva inserts because it's only 2 layers. Plus it's this really thin layer of bamboo. So kind of the same story with the microfiber from these gray market diapers. This is microfiber. The charcoal bamboo, they'll say that it's bamboo, but it's microfiber. So all of these are microfiber, and I think that I have heard people say they get a little bit more mileage from the charcoal bamboo than from the regular Alva inserts. So those might work for you. But it's a gamble. Make sure you buy them from a place that will let you return them. And if it were me, I would just use pre-folds instead of all of those because they are more absorbent and you'll be needing to experiment less, trying to figure out what will hold all of your baby's output. So that's my recommendation, but you do what you want to do. let's see. The second most common reason for leaks is fit. And when you're checking for a good fit on your diapers, you need to check for a couple things. Check the legs. Most of the fit issues that I see when people come in for a fit check is in the legs. So you'll need to make sure that the elastic is against the baby's skin. Cloth diapers fit more like underwear than disposable diapers. So check that the elastic is going around the leg. Keep in mind this is a doll, not a baby, so you know there's some weird gaps here because he's much rounder than a human. So check there. I have questions sometimes about marks on the legs, and cloth does leave more marks than disposable diapers because it has regular elastic. So socks are regular elastic. As long as the marks are not any darker than sock marks, it's fine. If they're purple, if they're really dark red, if they take a long time to go away, they look like they're painful, you may be putting the diapers on too tight. You just want the elastic to lay nicely against that line in between the leg and the hip. And then you'll want to check this area for gaps too. Only if you're leaking out of the stomach panel area. So if you have a onesie that gets wet across the stomach or something, definitely see if you've got a gap here and try to adjust for that and fix it. There are some diapers that have a little bit less of an issue with gaps up here. Thirsty's is one because they have this nice PUL panel right here on the inside of the all-in-one. Any brand that has elastic along the front is going to be nice if you're having tummy gapping issues. So if your baby has a bigger legs and a skinnier tummy and you're getting gapping and leaking up there. So there are some options. You don't necessarily have to go buy diapers with those features. But if you need help with kind of one of those weird fit things, let us know. But just as a guideline, this is a nice feature to have. Elastic along the front, like apple cheeks, is a nice feature to have. So there are some things you can look for if you tend to have gapping in the stomach and then leaking issues. Some of these gray market diapers don't gap at the stomach, but when you have it adjusted down, the insert can come up above. And if you have the insert sticking out here on the baby while this is folded down, I mean, this is just microfleece. So you have the microfiber in here sticking out and then compressing, and this is going to cause a big leak. So just make sure, if you're using these, that you're very careful to make sure you only have the waterproof fabric outside. If you're using an all-in-one like this one, that you don't have any little absorbent pieces hanging out the leg holes. All of that needs to be tucked inside the waterproof laminated fabric. Some other weird issues that you could have are delaminating. That's when, if you go look at your PUL, if you can open it up, if it's a pocket or a cover, then you can just check the laminated fabric. If it looks like it's bubbling, or if you see like little scratches or actual cracks in it where you can see, this one is not delaminating, it's new, but if you can see through there to the fabric on the outside, that is shot PUL. It's not worth fixing it, unfortunately. You can repurpose those as swim diapers, or toss them. I hate to tell you to toss anything because we like to be nice to the earth. So find something else to do with them. Doll diapers, they're great for that. You can give them to like little girls and they can put them on their dolls. So try to reuse and recycle if you can. If you have an all-in-one that you think might be delaminating, it's hard to tell unless you actually like cut a hole in it and go like look at the PUL. But if it feels crunchy, or if you feel like there's like a bubble like inside, you're like, that just won't go down, it seems like it's bubbling, it could be delaminated. But it is harder to tell with all-in-ones because there's no way to easily access the PUL. And the other thing is shot elastic. So here is an Alva baby with a shot elastic on one side. So I thought this was a really good demo because you can see this side, it's relaxed a little bit, but it's still kind of springy. And then on this other side, Like you can't even see the wrinkles, like it barely has any give. So this is one side of shot elastic. That's unusual. Usually you lose both sides at the same time. So that's something you can look for. If it's a pocket, elastic can be replaced fairly easily. Hopefully we'll have a tutorial on that for you. But if it's an all-in-one, you just have to decide if it's worth it, if you know anyone who knows how to sew, if you want to try to save it with the shot elastic. And then the last reason that you can have repelling, that you can have leaks is repelling. So repelling is where if you have a synthetic fiber, like this is the Thirsty Stay Dry all-in-one, so it's this micro fleece with some fuzz on it. So micro fleece is here, and then any lining of a pocket, this is micro suede, any of this kind of polyester synthetic fabric is not made to be used with petroleum-based rash creams. So Desitin, Vaseline, anything like that is going to stick to the synthetic fabric and cause it to not allow liquid to pass through into the absorbent part of the diaper. If that happens, it's not the end of the world, but you're gonna have to do some scrubbing to get it out. So take some Dawn dish soap, put it on the part that's repelling, or just put on the whole diaper, scrub it with a nice scrub brush just to try to get all of that petroleum out of the fibers, and then just put some water on it and see if you just like lightly push on it, see if it goes through. If you just set it on top, it might just bead up and stay there, even on one that's not repelling. So just press it gently, and if it goes into the diaper, you've resolved your repelling issues. And then make sure to use on your synthetic fabrics cloth safe rash cream, or just use your pre-folds or natural fibers when you have to use those petroleum-based rash creams. I hope all of this is helpful. Please let us know if you have any questions. You can comment or contact us through email or on Facebook, and we will be happy to help you resolve any cloth diaper issues that you have. Bye.